It's the 2K Sports pregame show, brought to you by Kia.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the New York Knicks going up against the Atlanta Hawks in their house, Phillips Arena. Checking out Atlanta, 2 games into the season series against this team, they're tied at a game apiece, looking to grab the edge tonight. And under Budenholzer's tenure, this Atlanta team has been such a pleasure to watch on offense. How much has he changed the culture and approach for the Hawks?
Well, I'm not 100% sure because I'm not in the locker room, but from the appearance from the outside, it looks like the players are not worried about their own stats. They're focused on team wins, and that's it.
Well, I didn't really pay attention to the coaches. Everyone know I was a joy to coach. But I do know coaches are either chemistry guys or X's and O's guys. But Budenholzer, he's like a baby Popovich. He has the ability to do both at the same time.
Did you, Kenny, say finance to romance in your pocket?
No question.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's nice.
One way to look at it. Here's Kevin Harlan.
The NBA on 2K Sports. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side are analysts Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. From the sideline, we'll have the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a bit. Last outing for Atlanta unsuccessful. The loss to the Wizards. You know, guys, you hate to get embarrassed on your home court, but that's exactly what happened. It was a tough loss for them.
And they had to be sensational defensively on that night to compensate for the fact that they just couldn't find a rhythm offensively.
You could see them trying to find some sort of rhythm on the offensive end, but the more they forced it, the less effective it was.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Kevin, we know here in Atlanta, Mike Budenholzer has assumed the dual role of coach and GM of the Atlanta Hawks. It's a tough task, but he can draw on the experience in San Antonio. But Greg Popovich has a similar role. Like Pop, Coach Bud makes sure to listen to his differing opinions and empower the staff. Kevin?
He's done a terrific job, Dave. Thank you. And tonight's topic, the 7-game playoff series. You look at college, the one-and-done format does add some suspense. Instant elimination. But Doris, would you like to see the NBA shorten the length of any of the playoff series?
No, you know, Kevin, as you know, there was a time in the NBA where the early rounds were 5 games, so you only had to win 3. To be honest with you, I think the best measure of a series is who is the best of 7. I like the format. I know that we need to figure out maybe the starting date as moving that back a little bit earlier, but I like the playoff series as is.
If it is a 7-game series, it to me gives legitimacy that that's the team that should be moving on.
There's no question about it.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. And New York, looking at who they've got. Melo and Porzingis, the 2 stars at the forward spots. Derrick Rose is out there with Lee, and it's Noah in at the 5 spot. Now here's Lee, following the miss by Paul Millsap. Lee kicks to Rose. Dwight Howard grabs the board. About a minute played so far here in the first. Schroeder passes to Howard. Cephalosha dishes to Schroeder. Kicks it to Bazemore. 6 on the shot clock. Over to the wing. Puts it up from 17. They grab their own miss. Howard. Screen by Howard. And Bazemore kicks to Millsap. Hits it from 3-point range. Millsap's got his first 3 points of the game.
And Howard sets such vicious screens. It's like running into a brick wall.
The feed to Carmelo. Puts it up from 12. And the Knicks miss again. For the New York Knicks, they come in off a good outing against the Charlotte Hornets.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way. And that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
Well, I don't think it's overstatement to call that an embarrassing defensive effort. Shooters were wide open from everywhere.
Here's Lee following the bucket by the Hawks. And the foul called on Paul Millsap. That's his first foul. The wide open look here for Porzingis. No good on the quick three. The Hawks have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Sefolosha passes to Schroeder. Inside, here's Howard. And Howard with the stuff.
And these dunk attempts are just too easy for Howard. All he has to do is rise up, and he's golden.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Lee kicks to Porzingis. That doesn't go either for Porzingis.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Here's Howard. Goes back up. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And the defensive prowess of Howard is simply phenomenal. Not only a shot-blocking master, but his mere presence alone makes shooters incredibly nervous. And Dwight Howard, you know, he's lost some explosiveness over the years, but still remains an intimidating presence when he's healthy. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call him a #1 option on the offensive end, but still great in the pick and roll, better than most when it comes to posting, and defensively, when he's moving well, a straight beast.
That one is off. And talking about Howard's defense, he's blocking fewer shots these days, but he remains extremely difficult to score against in the paint.
Yeah, statistically, opponents still struggle to shoot against him. He has the power and instincts to stop most true centers from getting comfortable on the blocks, and his reputation goes a long way toward unnerving opponents.
He hits the second from the line. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, pass to Porzingis. Can they get it? That doesn't go either for Porzingis.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Yeah, he gains good position, then gets out on the shooter, affects his rhythm.
Bazemore dishes to Schroeder. Millsap a screen. Back to Bazemore. Three-pointer. Knocks down the 3-ball. Bazemore's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Not the strongest play defensively, though. I mean, he was taken out by that screen far too easily. Boy, he almost never misses that shot, guys. But you know he'll take it again if he gets another good look.
Millsap a screen. Sefolosha kicks to Howard. Bazemore inside the 3-point line. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Here's Porzingis. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
At some point, he has to stop shooting. How is this helping his team?
Passes it to Schroeder. Down low. Stolen by Noah. Lee outside. Porzingis can't hit.
You know, it's been hard for him to find the range this quarter, but I do like his aggressiveness.
Schroeder kicks to Howard. Back to Schroeder. It's stolen by Rose. And now the Knicks on the break. And here we go. The 9-footer's on the mark.
And as long as he retains that great explosion in his legs, Derrick Rose will be a factor around the rim.
Schroeder with the ball. He's definitely not pleased how he played against Washington. They get it again. Tries again. And it's Howard laying it in. Howard's got 7 points in the game.
He is now 3 for 4 to start this game. Clearly, the confidence is already building.
Rose against Schroeder.
And the one thing about Rose is that, you know, he can still get up for the big matchups. Whenever he faces another great point guard, he seems to play at his best level and loves to push himself and is willing to step up to the challenge. Let's just hope that he can eventually get back to that all-star caliber presence he had just a few years ago.
free throw drops for Rose.
And for Derrick Rose, the question will be how much of his MVP level of play from 2011 can he recover? You'd love to see him return to that form.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. The Hawks leading by 7. Schroeder kicks to Howard. The Knicks pull it in. And with Rose and his injuries, it's not easy for him to put in a work day every day. But as you said, he can light it up on the big stage.
And that is why he's such a threat. Even with his numbers being somewhat diminished, Rose knows what it takes to be a successful player at the highest level. You only wish he wasn't robbed of so much of his game due to injuries.
Schroeder kicks to Cephalosha. Tries a 3. And no good that time. And New York the other way now. The dish to Lee. Knocked away. Cephalosha with the steal. Here's Schroeder. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Now Bazemore. Clock at 4. Free throw line jump shot. Takes a big height bounce and goes in. Bazemore's got 5. And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Noah. Now let's check out the rebounds and where they're coming from. Here's a breakdown showing the front court and the back court rebounding numbers for the Hawks.
And their big men are getting the majority of the rebounds. You like all 5 guys boxing out and getting on the glass, but at the end of the day, that's their role to control the board.
Knicks trail by 9. Fades back. Porzingis can't hit.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
The pass to Bazemore. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. There's Rose with the 3. Millsap grabs the miss. And it's the Hawks' ball. They're on a 15-4 run right now. It's stolen by Rose. And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. Lee passes to Porzingis. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
Boy, Kev, how about Porzingis? Shrugs off the hit. That work in the weight room paying off already. You gotta love the time he's put in to make himself a challenge.
Baker, he's checked in for the Knicks. Jennings comes in for Rose.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And Doris, we have a moment here. A question from one of our fans out there wants to know, in your opinion, what position in the NBA right now you feel has the deepest wealth of players?
Well, I think it's hard to dispute that we're living in the age, or the golden age, of point guards. And I would begin with one who has so many titles, and that's Tony Parker. So I know everyone describes Chris Paul as the best point guard in the league, and I probably concur with that sentiment. But championships matter, and so Tony Parker's in that discussion. But you're also seeing the evolution. Look at a guy like Russell Westbrook. I would say a non-traditional point guard, but the ferocity with which he plays, the athleticism, if you allow him into open space, he's going to destroy you. Then you look at the elite level speed that a John Wall attacks the position with. You look at a guy like Stephen Curry, the league's MVP, and the extraordinary handle and combination of handle and perimeter jump shot, and now the confidence to go in, use all the tools at his disposal to score inside. I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm just naming a few guys off the top of my head. I could go on and on and on about great point guards in this league. Hard to dispute that we're in the golden age of point guards.
The Knicks making a switch here. There's a good screen. Pass to Baker. Back to Holiday. It's stolen by Dunleavy. 4-on-3 break. Here's Delaney. Here's Howard. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
And they've done the job on the offensive glass.
He shot 2 free throws in the game, made 1 and missed 1.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
Howard, no good on the free throw. Greg, the Atlanta Hawks, a disciplined team. They've got the right coach in Mike Budenholzer. Wouldn't you agree?
I really do. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Offensively, they move the ball and they make the simple play. And defensively, they deny in transition and avoid cheap fouls. They really don't beat themselves.
It's tipped. Muscala. There's the screen. Rocket 6. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Hardaway has got his second bucket.
Already seizing control of this game.
Two teams in very different modes right now. One playing with energy and passion at both ends, and the other wishing for a reset button on this game. We see a lot of teams have gone through logo or jersey transitions, but the Knicks have had that classic blue and orange for a long time. One of the most iconic logos, not only in the NBA, but in all of sports.
Let's check out the stats for Hardaway. How his last 10 games have gone. Averaging 12 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
Here's Baker. Now off the inbound. Howard with the steal. Dishes to Dunleavy. 14 feet away. Bounces high off the rim and drops. And the Hawks lead by 14. And the New York Knicks franchise, one of the founding franchises of the NBA back in 1946.
Well, and how about this, Kevin? The name Knickerbocker traces back even further to the Dutch settlers who came over in the 1600s. It referred to their knee-length style of pants, but came to represent New Yorkers in time.
Not an easy finish right there, but a beautiful move to give himself just enough space to get in close and knock it down.
Outside Hardaway. He kicks it to Muscala. Feeds it to Howard. They double team Howard. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Brandon Jennings comes up with a rebound. Knicks trail by 12. He dishes it to O'Quinn. Pass to Baker. And O'Quinn kicks to Jennings. 6 to shoot. Fires the 3. The shot's good from O'Quinn. O'Quinn's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Knicks. Atlanta's shooting pretty efficiently out there. It is in 48% in the first quarter. Kicks to Howard. A floater. And Dunleavy gets it to go in.
Yeah, that was the third straight high percentage look the defense has allowed. The defenders have got to start putting bodies on bodies.
Now here is Holiday. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. He feeds it to Jennings. And the shot falls short this time.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
Dunleavy dishes to Howard. 11 feet away. It's rebounded by New York.
He doesn't have a polished inside game by any means, but that's an opportunity he should convert.
Left side, Jennings. Passes to Baker. Puts up a three. That one no good.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
He really does a very good job of extending out to the shooter, but always under control.
Here's Hernan Gomez. Launches it. And no good. The first quarter concludes in a double-digit lead on the scoreboard. Hawks lead by 11. 2K Sports back in a moment here at Phillips Arena in Atlanta. And Dwight Howard, a lightning rod figure around the league, subject to a lot of criticism, but he says he takes comfort in playing the game he still loves.
Basketball, this is my passion. On the court, it's my sanctuary. I want to have fun. The reason I play is to win championships, and I take this game very seriously.
It's an interesting concept that Dwight has to take something very seriously in order to have fun. He does say he has a burning passion to win a championship. He's been in the finals, and this is a guy that's got still a lot to shoot for, he feels, in his career.
It's a great point, Kevin. And the challenge for Dwight is how to balance how serious he is and how passionate he is with having that fun on the court that he's after.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And for the Hawks, this has been the game they've wanted to have.
Defense paying huge dividends for them through the first.
This is a savvy group. They know when to body up and play physical and when to back off.
Here are the five New York has to start here in the second. We've got Kyle O'Quinn, Lee out there with Rose. Then it's Anthony. And it's Kuzminskas in at the 4. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Chris Humphries was first one of the best rebounders in the league, and now, after a few years of tinkering with his jumper, he's become a pretty good shooting big man. After the 2015 playoffs, Wizards coach Randy Whitman suggested that Humphries work on his three-pointer. Humphries said, "I hadn't really worked on it ever. I just had to adapt. I went at it trying to expand my game so I can play longer." Kevin?
I'm sure we'll see a lot of players trying to add that three, D.A. Thank you.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Here's Bembry. And O'Quinn sends it back.
Just such nice timing by O'Quinn on that block.
Outside Rose, and the pass to Kuzminskas. Back to Rose. Anthony, the pass to Lee. Pass to Kuzminskas. And the Knicks miss again. Atlanta leading by 13. And here's Schroeder. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And here's Cephalosha for 3. Carmelo Anthony grabs the board. The Knicks have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second quarter.
Ever since Carmelo came into this league, he's been very comfortable as an isolation one-on-one scorer. Today's NBA, though, trending a little bit more toward great ball movement, involvement by everybody.
Here's Bembry. Now here's Schroeder at the top of the key. Millsap. Just 5 on the clock. Bembry. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. And Doris, with the Knicks going to the triangle offense, part of the thought was to take some of that pressure off of Melo offensively.
I mean, obviously, Kevin, the idea is to try to create spacing and ball movement and maybe enable Melo to catch the ball with more room to operate. Obviously, it's a bit more complicated, though, and it's taken a little time for them to settle in.
Pass to Bembry. That three off the mark.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
Outside Anthony. Lee outside. There's the screen. Shot to end this cold run. Jump shot is good that time.
Looked like some confusion defensively that time. Left him wide open for a nice look on the jumper.
In the corner, Cephalosha with it. Atlanta again missing.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
I'll tell you what, though, he'll take that every time. That's a great look.
Now here's Rose. 6 points for him. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Atlanta leading by 11. Here's Bembry. There's the feed to Schroeder. Now the dish to Muscala. Shoots from 12. Atlanta again missing.
High-quality shot, just a little off there with the release.
He didn't look comfortable going up, but he knew it was a good look. Had to take it.
Now here's Anthony. His last outing, he had 18 points. Off target with his three. And Muscala kicks it over to Schroeder. Hawks passing it around. Dishes it to Millsap. That's tipped, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rose. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Bembry. And New York with a change here, too. Porzingis is checked in. And so it's Atlanta with it. 4 on the clock, and that one's good. Millsap.
How pretty was that turnaround? That is one of the slick moves in the business.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
New York calls timeout. Last time they met in New York.
And turnovers were the story for them when they saw each other last. I mean, just a heartbreaking way to lose the game.
Joakim Noah's checked in for New York. And we take a look here at the shot chart.
And when you look at this shot chart, you get a good visual of just how often they are settling for something outside. They have to know that this defense wants them to take those kinds of shots, and they would be a lot better off if they recommit to attacking the basket.
Rose kicks to Porzingis. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Porzingis has got 5 now.
You know, Porzingis' size obviously will make him a threat at the rim, but that athleticism a problem as well.
Millsap a screen. Schroeder dishes to Muscala. Back to Schroeder. Porzingis with the steal. Feeds it to Rose. Anthony sets the pick for Rose. He kicks to Noah. Cephalosha with it. Looking for his first basket still in this one.
You're always surprised when he misses that kind of look, whether the defense is on him or not.
Anthony, the pass to Rose. Right side Porzingis for 3. Drills it from outside. 8 points for him.
And good passing setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Now Schroeder, he's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. And that one's good. Millsap.
Even though there's a height disadvantage, he's still able to go up and over his man.
He negated size difference through sheer determination. He wasn't going to let a few extra inches bother him.
Now here's Anthony. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
You know, you'd be hard-pressed to find many players in the league that are as strong in the mid-range as Melo. Well, the glory days for the Knicks, back in the early 70s, 1970 and 73 to be exact, the franchise's 2 NBA championships. Who can ever forget?
Millsap misses.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
Outside, Porzingis. And again, New York with the triple. And what a great team that was. Doris, that roster for the Knicks in the early 70s. Wow.
Wow, you're right, Kevin. Dick Barnett, Bill Bradley, Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed, and, of course, Walt Frazier. All fixtures on both title runs. It was a deep team, and they worked beautifully together.
Here's Anthony. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, great scorers just have that knack. Get inside, it's either a bucket or a trip to the free throw line. When Melo first came to New York, there was an enormous amount of pressure on him, and you wonder how, at times, he can handle that so gracefully.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And for Melo, the pressure is always going to be on him, Doris, as long as he is the guy in New York.
Yeah, I like that because it shows how mentally tough Melo is, that he can still perform when so much is expected from him. And his whole career, listen, Melo has been the leader of whichever team he is on, and he's used to this kind of pressure.
And he's good on the second. Well, Doris, of course, we all know you've had a chance to meet and interview so many coaches and players throughout the NBA. What are some of the best things about that?
Yeah, I think maybe the most surprising thing about interviewing NBA players in particular is they are very much like you and I. There are periods of great confidence, but if they start to struggle, just like you and I, their confidence can come and go, and they need positive reinforcement. I think the thing I've learned is most often NBA players, aside from the great and sort of distinguishing skill, they are people first and foremost.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
And pushing it up, here's New York. Anthony leading the charge. The 9-foot shot. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Anthony's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Oh, that could easily have been a three-point play. A little contact, Melo still goes right to it.
There's the pick. Hardaway kicks it to Bazemore. Screen by Howard. Tries again, and you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
And really an alert play on the glass there to get that second chance opportunity. He's having one of those games that we've really grown accustomed to seeing him put forth.
Yeah, he's back-to-back games like this. He is on a tear, competing with every ounce of energy he's got.
Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Kent Bazemore. Justin Holiday's checked in for the Knicks. Passes it to Hernan Gomez. Here's Porzingis. No good on the shot. Good work defensively by Millsap.
I'll tell you, they're fighting the good fight, but he's not helping a difficult situation by missing this way.
Kicks it to Howard. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Hardaway for 3. The shot, no good. And New York the other way now. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for 1. The Hawks shooting their 5th free throw of the game here. What about the finals format, Doris? 2-2, 1-1-1. It's back. Most everyone pleased about it. What do you think?
I love it because if you go to the old 2-3-2 format, to me, that middle stretch where the team that's lower seeded literally has 3 straight opportunities to change a series with home court advantage, that is unfair to the team that works so hard to get that top spot.
That one goes. Count it. 13 points for Porzingis.
You know, Kev, I think you can see the strength that Porzingis has been developing over the early part of his career. That progress is showing up on a nightly basis.
And the Hawks with possession here. They've led by as many as 14 points. Porzingis with the steal. Outside Jennings. Porzingis passes to Jennings. Here's Hernan Gomez. Out to the right wing. The feed to Holiday. Now the pass to Jennings. 6 to shoot. Porzingis kicks to Jennings. Out of bounds, Knicks ball as New York keeps possession of it. And when you talk about all-time career numbers, there is one name in NBA history that shows up time and time again. Wilt Chamberlain, Wilt the Stilt, with 23,924 rebounds. His name synonymous with greatness on the basketball court.
And guys, I don't think there will ever be another player that will dominate their position like Wilt Chamberlain did. And it's those rebounding numbers that paint the picture the most clearly. I mean, Wilt averaged almost 23 rebounds a game. Not just over a season, folks, over the course of his entire career. 11 rebounding titles, and his career total just shy of 24,000. I mean, nobody in the modern era has even come close to that.
And so it's Atlanta with it. 7-point differential. He used that pick to perfection.
You know, probably could have set that screen with a little more force, but it got him just enough room to be able to finish.
Pass to Porzingis. There's the pick. Holiday against Hardaway. Outside Holiday. Shot clock at 5. Porzingis passes to Hernan Gomez. Baker. They get the rebound. Out to Porzingis. There's Baker. Outside Jennings. Pass to Porzingis. Outside Jennings. The tray. It will go down, and the Hawks' lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Porzingis.
And he's now made 3 three-pointers here in the second, starting to get it going.
Here's Dunleavy. He averages about 5 points a game. Here's Howard. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And really, Howard is so adept at drawing contact, using those bruising shoulders and muscular frame to his advantage.
The Hawks have hit just 2 free throws in 5 attempts today. No good on the free throw. The Knicks making a switch here. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also.
And not doing anything to erase his reputation as a shaky free throw shooter. This game really only making it worse.
Now here's Jennings. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Charlotte. Holiday, no one around him. And a miss there on the triple. He tries for 3. Knocks down the 3 ball. He has 5.
How about that move? Is this guy special or what? Just love watching him operate inside.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Hawks ahead, up 9. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Mike Budenholzer. Your defense has been very good. Why has that happened?
Well, I think our guys are committed on that end. Everybody's active, everybody's covering for each other, and we know how important it is.
Mike, we'll see if it continues in the next quarter. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime show on 2K Sports. Dwight Howard had no problems getting going. He had 14 points and a monster amount of rebounds. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how Atlanta played?
Well, they've been playing with some toughness. And it's led to a nice lead for them, not just on the scoreboard, but in the rebounding numbers. And now they need to stay mean, Ernie. You cannot lose that edge in the second half.
And Kenny, your take on New York.
They need to make major adjustments on the offense. Whatever their game plan was going into this game, scrap it. It's not been effective. The shots they were taking were not good shots. They need to find a way to spring guys open where they can shoot a better percentage.
That's it for halftime. We will see you and you too later. Now back to the action.
Welcome back to Atlanta as you get a look at the famous facade of Phillips Arena, home of the Hawks. And the second half about to start here in just a few moments. Porzingis with a strong contribution so far in this one.
Boy, did he put on a show from beyond in that first half. Let's see if the halftime break has any cooling effect on him.
Well, it was amazing, but highly unusual for him. He's not a guy known for making threes, so you'd expect him to cool down at some point.
The Hawks leading by 9. Schroeder and Bazemore pair up at the point and off-guard spots. Cephalosha is out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Howard in at the center filling out the middle. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. Now here is Cephalosha. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. Noah's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, as always, the Atlanta Hawks run that fluid offensive system that is widely admired. You know, Steve Kerr, our old friend, used to say they get to the next level of their offense. You take away the first option, they automatically get to the second. You take that one, they automatically and fluidly get to the third option. And very few teams do that. Kevin?
Passing and shooting, DA, that's what it's all about. Thank you. Here's Howard. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Here's Porzingis. Noah. Rebound, Atlanta. Millsap's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And Bazemore kicks to Millsap. Millsap a screen on Anthony. The dish now to Howard. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Well, they talk about basketball IQ, Doris, all the time from a point guard and broadcaster perspective. How would you, I'd be interested in this, how would you define it?
You know, I think you can see a player who has played the game from their earliest. Like, I picked the game up at 7 years old when I moved next door to a park. And when you play the game from that young an age, there's just this natural understanding of the nuance of the game. Like, my son has played golf since the time he was 2 years old. He's been on a golf course. There's a nuance, there's a feel for it that you can't teach. It's been developed because it's been a part of who you are for such a long time.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. A little over a minute gone here in the second half. To the paint. It will go down, and the Hawks' lead is cut down now to just 9 in the bucket from Porzingis.
When things come together for Porzingis, he can be too much to handle for any defender.
Now here's Bazemore. He's got 7. Millsap a screen on Rose. To the middle. And there's Howard. That's good on the assist by Schroeder. 18 points for Dwight Howard.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Rose against Schroeder. It's stolen by Schroeder. And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball. 2 points. That one goes. And the Hawks lead by 13.
Yeah, what a nice play. Just a coaster by himself off of that steal.
And that one's good, Anthony.
You know, the ability to seize the opportunity, see the daylight, get that position, and Melo, one of the best to ever do it.
Schroeder dishes to Millsap.
And you look at Paul Millsap, one of the hardest workers in the league. You see it in how much he's added to his game over the course of his career.
It's his first trip to the line.
And he's shooting his free throws to the tune of 75% this season. Fairly standard numbers.
Free throw dropped for Millsap. He's perfect from the line this time. Knicks trail by 13. Rose kicks to Porzingis. Rose passes to Lee. Back to Rose. To the left side wing. 6 to shoot. And that's a foul. It's called Cephalosha. That's his first foul.
Oh, man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Time called here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And a look now at the various locations of the shots taken so far.
Well, this is what you wanted to see from him. I mean, he's not settling for anything and is going right at the defender, taking the ball to the rim whenever he can. And the attitude he's had on offense is keeping his team flying around as his energy is contagious out there right now.
Just over 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second half. Noah kicks to Porzingis. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
You know, this is where the size and the reach of Porzingis can really pay off. It's so hard to bother that release. Boy, you think back to draft night, and Porzingis was roundly booed by Knicks fans when he was taken with the 4th overall pick. But that's ancient history now. I think everyone realizes the talent this young guy possesses.
Now here's Schroeder. Howard with a screen on Rose. Schroeder dishes to Howard. Shoots. Atlanta gets it back. Schroeder passes to Millsap. And here's Schroeder. To the wing right side. Bazemore inside the three-point line. Atlanta again missing. And there were even some rumors on draft night that Carmelo Anthony wasn't happy with the pick of Porzingis.
That's a rumor he vehemently denied. They're both perimeter-oriented forwards, and I could see why Melo might prefer a guard or perhaps a more traditional pivot man. The Knicks, though, looking for the upside, and Porzingis has that in spades.
Mike Muscala is checked in for the Hawks. Now here's Anthony. No good from 11 feet.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Bazemore gets the bucket. Bazemore's got 9 points. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Now here's Rose. 6 points for him. Outside Anthony. To the paint. Wants to get it off to Noah and does. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
The Knicks shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
And really, the form at the line all season has been terrific. 79% as a team.
That's good from Joakim Noah. And the Hawks making a change here. Bembry's checked in. Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for New York. No good on the second free throw.
No, Jeff Hornacek was the man chosen to lead this Knicks team during their coaching search. You know, you think about it, they took a look at several names in and out of the organization, but Hornacek ended up being their guy. It seemed like they felt Hornacek didn't get a fair shake and is underrated as a coach.
Knicks trail by 11. The 3 from Anthony. Offensive rebound. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Bazemore with it. 9 points in the game so far. He dishes it to Schroeder. Pass to Bembry. 5 on the clock. There's a good screen. Shot off the pick. The rebound by Noah.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
What a brutal stretch for him, just trying to work his way out of it, which is harder than it sounds.
Now here's Anthony. 7 points in the game. O'Quinn can't hit.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Dishes it to Noah. Here's Rose. Oh, and the jam by Rose.
And without question, Derrick Rose is one of the most athletic players the league has ever seen. Right there, reminding us just what he can do.
And Muscala kicks it over to Schroeder. There's the 3. Hits it from 3-point range. Schroeder's got 5 points so far.
Well, the pick didn't exactly neutralize the defender, but good concentration on the finish to still get the basket.
Now here's Rose. He's got 10. Noah the screen. Anthony takes a big height bounce and goes in. Anthony's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And that was the play to make. Rose making the right read.
Bazemore dishes to Schroeder. For the 3. Nice D from Rose. Knicks trail by 8. Out left to the wing. 13 feet away. That doesn't go either for Rose. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. To the inside. Soft touch off the glass. And the Hawks lead by 10.
Woo, you talk about threading the eye of the needle. He has an uncanny feel for this game.
And stolen by Bazemore. He feeds it to Schroeder. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play.
What's up?
Atlanta making some changes. Dunleavy comes in for Cephalosha. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Kent Bazemore. The Hawks have missed out on some chances at the line today. 0-6 of 11.
And as a team, they're down around 72% for the season.
Here's Baker. Feeds it to Jennings. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Here's Dunleavy. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Yeah, as we just saw, you don't always have to get the block to make a defensive impact.
Now here is Holiday. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Inside. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
And if they continue,
Two
Kevin,
shots.
their outstanding free throw shooting,
Elbow.
that'll help them
Two.
seal the deal.
For Atlanta, they have made 7 of their last 12 attempts at the line. And he makes the first. And both free throws good for Dunleavy. And so it's New York with it, down by 15. They've got the Wizards ahead of them for the next game. It's in Washington. That matchup falls in the middle game of this 3-game trip. Outside Holiday. He kicks it to Jennings. 5 to shoot. They need this, but they get it back. Here's Baker. Now the feed to Holiday. New York moving the ball around. Here's Jennings. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday. The Hawks leading by 13. Outside Hardaway. Atlanta again missing.
I don't know if he's trying to show off for the crowd or what, but there's no reason for that kind of shot.
Baker sinks the three-pointer. Baker's got himself on the board with 3 there. Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Kicks it to Muscala. They set the screen. Got a piece of it. Just 4 to shoot. Hardaway, that's a 2-pointer. That doesn't go either for Hardaway. Knicks trail by 10. Now the pass to Kuzminskis. Takes the 3. That shot is off. And Atlanta will come the other way. Here's Delaney. Not enough on that one as it misses. The Knicks shooting around 44% in this 3rd quarter. Jennings can't get it to go. The Hawks leading by 10. To the paint. Here's Muscala. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Muscala's got 4 points this quarter.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
Outside Holiday. Pass to Jennings. Passes to Kuzminskis. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Hardaway kicks to Muscala. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. Muscala's got 8.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pass to Baker. The dish to Jennings. Wide open. Here's O'Quinn. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And we've got a moment now to check out the Eastern Conference standings and see where everyone is sitting as things begin to settle down just a bit through the midway point of the season. Taking a look at Atlanta. Here in the middle of the regular season, they've been able to get the 4th best record in the conference. And checking out New York, 6.5 games behind them.
Well, I think for New York, their season has been exactly the kind of misadventure their fans were afraid it might be.
And with the major changes we know are coming, now you have players fighting for their jobs, trying to prove they deserve to be here beyond the end of this season.
And that one falls for O'Quinn.
Well, Kyle O'Quinn, he wasn't a well-known player in college, but he was a find in that second round of the draft. Whenever you have a player with his size and ability to eat up space in the middle, he's going to find a place on the roster.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Howard comes in for Mike Muscala, and Paul Millsap subbed in for Benbury. Size is something that teams will always look to acquire and find time for, and Doris O'Quinn fits that bill in a big way.
Yeah, Kev, it's not easy to find a player of O'Quinn's size that has as soft a touch as he does. He can step outside, pull out his defender, freeing up the middle for his team. A very easy shooting motion on O'Quinn. He looks very comfortable from the three-point line.
And there's the pass to Baker. Dishes to Holiday. Jennings wide open. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
Boy, both teams really attacking from downtown right now. This is a long-range battle at the moment.
Another three for Atlanta. Knicks trail by 15. He dishes it to Holiday. He feeds it to O'Quinn. He kicks it to Jennings. Launches it. And again, New York with the triple.
You have to absolutely love how fast O'Quinn caught the ball and got into his shooting motion.
Feeds to Millsap. With one on the clock, the shot no good. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Hawks lead by 12. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Just relax. We're in good shape. Keep looking for each other. Keep cutting hard. Everybody look. Let's take care of our defense. More pressure. More activity.
That's Coach Mike Budenholzer running through the gambit of areas where he feels they need to excel.
Yeah, I mean, and most of all, Coach is asking them to be 100% engaged. Give it your all, and then let the chips fall where they may.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Setting the floor for the Knicks. Melo and Porzingis, the two stars at the forward spots. Derrick Rose is out there with Lee. And it's Hernan Gomez in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Now Schroeder following the three-point attempt by Derrick Rose. Millsap sets the pick for Schroeder. Right side Millsap. That one goes. Count it. Millsap's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Hawks. Knicks trail by 14. Outside Rose. The feed now to Lee. No good on the three.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Millsap a screen on Rose. Here's Schroeder. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and two shots coming up. That one on Rose.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
That's good from Schroeder. And New York making a change here. Noah's checked in. Schroeder hits them both. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Rose kicks it to Noah. Some nice passing by New York here. Porzingis can't hit. The Hawks leading by 16. Now Schroeder. Kicks to Millsap. Fades. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And the Hawks lead by 18.
It has not been pretty, and you just wonder when they're going to start showing some more fight at that end of the floor. It has to happen at some point. Boy, that's great patience. Work the ball until you find a mismatch for the easy bucket.
Here's Bazemore, following the basket by Kristaps Porzingis. Bazemore passes to Schroeder. Howard setting the pick for Schroeder. And Lee pulls it down. Knicks trail by 16. Pass to Porzingis. Lee kicks to Anthony. Back to Lee. That's in there. Anthony with the assist.
You know, you love your star players making others better, and Melo with the vision there.
Howard setting the pick for Schroeder. Passes it to Cephalosha. Howard with a screen on Anthony. Cephalosha kicks it to Bazemore. Just 5 to shoot. From the stripe, Porzingis with the block. Pass to Anthony. Lee outside. Back to Rose. Up off the screen. Oh, and the jam by Rose.
And that's the Derrick Rose of old. Full speed ahead and bursting to the rim.
And here's Schroeder. The dish to Millsap. Drills the elbow jumper. Millsap's got 6 in the quarter.
Yeah, the defense not closing out in time. He's too quick and too good to miss many of those.
Here's Rose. And the layup's good off the glass.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Screen by Howard. Bazemore dishes to Schroeder. Howard with a screen on Rose. Millsap sets the pick for Schroeder. Nice D from Porzingis. Knicks trail by 12. Lee kicks to Rose. The pass to Carmelo. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Howard with a screen on Rose. Millsap a screen. Schroeder kicks to Cephalosha. Deflects the pass. Millsap passes to Howard, and he makes that one.
And that's just super strength there by Howard. So good at connecting on these shots despite the contact.
And that one falls for Howard. Here is Rose. Porzingis with a screen on Schroeder. Anthony no one around. And it's Anthony again missing.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Now here's Schroeder. Dishes to Cephalosha. And Lee pulls it down. Lee's got his 4th rebound in this one.
You know, despite his cold shooting, his team is still winning.
He dishes it to Carmelo. Shoots from 12. Basket good. Anthony's got 4 this quarter.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Schroeder kicks to Howard. Now here is Cephalosha. Screened by Howard. To the middle. Stolen by Noah. Schroeder against Rose. It's tipped. Here's Noah. Wow, way off on that one. The Hawks leading by 11. Bazemore with it. Millsap a screen. Bazemore dishes to Howard. He feeds it to Schroeder. This one for three. That's good. And so Howard with the assist. And the Hawks lead by 14.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Anthony kicks to Rose. Feeds it to Noah. Nobody near Schroeder. Offensive rebound. Tries yet again. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
And love the nastiness that Howard plays with, especially when he's underneath the hoop collecting rebounds.
And the free throw good from Howard. Knicks trail by 17. Here is Rose. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Now Schroeder. Howard setting the pick for Schroeder. In the corner, Cephalosha with it. A three-pointer is right on target.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
Knicks have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the fourth and even 50%. The feed now to Lee. Here's Anthony. And just miss after miss right now. The Hawks leading by 20. Kicks it to Howard. The jump hook. Here's Bazemore. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot two. That's on Joakim Noah. With the new TV deal, Doris, a lot of good things in the NBA's future. Is this the golden era of the NBA?
I think that this is the golden era, but it's the golden era because of the level of stars that we have. You have LeBron James, a once-in-a-generation player. Steph Curry redefining the very definition of a good shot. I do not like the criticism that these players have been under of late. I know I did not play in the old NBA, Kevin, but to me we need to celebrate the game as it's presently composed, and that's, to me, the special part.
Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for the Knicks. And the second free throw, good. Knicks trail by 21. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
It's blocked. Here's Anthony. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
I love what I see from him this quarter. Very decisive and very accurate.
Hardaway's checked in for Atlanta. That's good from Anthony.
You know, that's an interesting point about Carmelo, one of the most prolific free throw shooters in the history of the game. Spends a lot of time at the stripe.
Now, here's Howard. And here's Schroeder. He kicks it to Millsap. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
Free throw drops for Millsap. And so Paul Millsap nails both of them.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
Jennings passes to Lee. Outside Anthony. Rebound, Atlanta. They get to take on the Heat at Miami after this one. And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. Now, here's Schroeder. Used to be any contact at the rim, Doris, would result in a foul on the defender. But that has changed now with verticality in mind. What do you make of all this?
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think the guy who did it best for a couple of years was Roy Hibbert when he played for Indiana, because, you know, as you are entitled vertically to the space you create as a basketball player. So, Kevin, I love the challenge at the rim. I love that they allow these long, lean defenders to go up in the air vertically and contest. I love it.
That being said, I find very few things wrong with the changes that have been made over the last 5 or 7 years. How about you?
Oh, one of the things that's my favorite about the NBA is how proactive they are in making necessary changes that improve the game and equal the playing field. I love that about the NBA.
Good analysis. And so it's New York with it, following the bucket by the Hawks. And the Knicks miss again.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, he took a solid angle, didn't block the attempt, but still forced the miss.
Now here's Schroeder. Pass to Hardaway. Outside Millsap. Just 5 on the clock. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Millsap's got 12 points here in the second half. To the paint. It's tipped. Millsap with the steal. Schroeder with the ball. Over to the left wing. 11 feet away, and again it's Paul Millsap. Millsap's got 21 in the game.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, because of the size difference, that's probably not the one-on-one matchup they'd like to go to very often, but it worked that time.
Now here's Hardaway. Here's Schroeder. Right wing. Off the pick. Again, Millsap missing.
That was an extremely weak screen. I mean, he clearly didn't want to sacrifice his body right there.
Tipped away. Hardaway with the steal.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Atlanta.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And on the season, this is going to be their 3rd win in 4 games against this team. And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for Howard.
You know, I really liked his efficiency. A lot of effort expended to get quality looks, and he made them pay offensively all night long.
And he's good on the second. Doris, offense up around the NBA in the last couple of years. Do you feel that this is a good thing for the league?
I love it. I think the fans love it. You and I love it. The pace is faster. The shooting is better. The excitement level is through the roof. This NBA, what do they say? It's fantastic.
It is, but defense wins championships. Are you still sticking with that as a mantra?
No, no question.
Yeah.
Championships have
right.
been defined on the defensive end.
So it's Atlanta now, following Brandon Jennings' 3. Pass to Millsap. 46 seconds left in the game. To the inside, just 5 on the clock. Bembry, no good. So New York will take it the other way. Hernan Gomez passes to Jennings. Here's Baker. Outside Jennings. And there's the pass to Kuzminskas. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings.
And really, if this had come just a little earlier, they may have been able to get back into the game.
Oh, great point. I mean, this is how they wanted to start the game off. Unfortunately, a little too late.
And so Atlanta takes this one by a big margin. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. Dwight, another big night for you, and you had to do a lot of it at the foul line. How do you keep yourself calm when you know you're going to shoot a lot of free throws?
You know, my whole thinking was, I don't care how many I make or miss, just go up there and keep shooting. They're going to fall sooner or later. I just kept playing, just kept playing through it, and try to lead my team.
You got it done tonight, Dwight. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And coming up next, the postgame show with Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwight Howard. How'd you feel about his performance, Kenny?
With his physicality in the paint, Dwight Howard, Superman. Shaq, I know you don't like that, but he was a one-man wrecking crew. And we saw that tonight, and no one was better at turning in a great defensive performance than Dwight.
Well, I saw the look in his eye, Ernie. The look was, I don't care what the rest of you do. I'm not letting us down. Move, give me the ball. I'm going to deliver. I got a great attitude, about to give you a great performance. Follow me.
And that is a wrap, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. See you again soon.